Okay, awesome show. Very awesome show. But how do you do it? What's the motivation for Man-Made Gods, Let's Be Honest, and Made in Nigeria? Three production. What keeps you motivated?
The motivation is to really try and bring poetry into the mainstream. So like many spoken word poets, I had done the slams, the open mics, and I just wanted to, I felt like I can do more to try and bring poetry into mainstream entertainment culture.
But I can imagine you being on stage for like 2 hours. What amount of time do you put into each production? Because each production you do are different from the other. Each one is different from the other. How long? What's the rehearsal hours like?
We rehearse for every show. Before we do a show, we rehearse sometimes from 6 weeks to the show. We begin to rehearse. A minimum of 4 weeks to the show we start to rehearse. We have at least 2 rehearsals a week leading up to the show. Sometimes we do up to 4 times a week leading up to the show. So I rehearse a lot before I do any show.
I have a 6 to 9.
And I have a 7:30 to 4:30.
Wow.
So usually what happens is once I close from work, I head straight to rehearsals before I head home. So it's a constant. You're constantly on the grind. Maybe one day I'll be lucky like you. I can leave one, I'll face the other.
We all wish for that. But let's look at the finances now. Yeah. How do you finance these productions?
The finances come from my pockets. I invest in it, and I look to recoup from ticket sales. In Abuja, we have gotten to the point where we regularly make our money back from ticket sales. In Lagos, we're still trying to build an audience. So for now, it's like happened in the early days in Abuja. Lagos is taking money now. Well, we hope that if we stay consistent, that we can build an audience that would eventually help us to cover our costs and make profits.
But, given the Nigerian, the way poetry is in Nigeria now, what do you see the future to be like?
Man, I don't know. I feel like looking at the future is for the younger poets now. I feel like
you're too old, man.
I'm not old, but in this poetry something, it's been a while,
True.
And I am doing what I envisioned 10 years ago.
Okay, yeah.
And I feel a new generation should envision the future. But I'm hoping that, we get to the point where poets can pull as much economic weight as their counterparts in movies and in music
and comedy.
And comedy, where they are. I really, really believe in this poets having their own shows, their own platforms, so that you're not constantly you need somebody else to do an event and invite you.
Yeah.
So this thing about being able to create your own platforms and run regularly and attract an audience to it, a dedicated audience to that platform, because these are the things you need to really begin to be taken seriously by corporate sponsors.
True.
So hopefully, as even people like you and me were struggling to put some of these building blocks in place, in the hope that another generation will be able to stand on it, and really begin to
build on it.
Yes.
But how does it feel like being, at least for now, the only poet ever mentioned by a vice president of the country?
I read that, to be honest. I mean,
on live TV, man.
I'm grateful to the vice president for giving me such publicity. Putting my poem in his mouth did a lot for me as a poet. So I'm really grateful for that, and I'm aware that it's not something to be taken for granted. But also, I'm somebody that really believes in focusing on the quality of your work. So I've never really gone out there looking for publicity or hunting for it.
Yeah.
So the fact that it came, I'm really grateful for it, but it hasn't really changed the fact that I focus on just present quality work, make sure it's meaningful and it's full of quality. If nobody notices it, be patient. Quality always wins over time. It may take 10 years, it may take 20 years, but quality always shows eventually.
But okay, now let's look at it. You were here last weekend for a show. You are here this weekend. Your wife and children, how do you compensate them for the time you spend on the road?
Well, I spend a lot of time a bit of time on the phone whenever I'm out.
Okay.
So I've spoken with her like 3 or 4 times today already. I keep it very, very tight. I don't spend more time away from home than I absolutely have to. So first thing in the morning, I go back, and hopefully it's for her to confirm, but I feel like I have deposited enough at home. When I'm at home, I'm at home.
Okay.
And when I need to leave, she understands that I need to leave. I'm not just out there having fun, So, and she's a very supportive partner.
She has to be.
She's extremely, extremely supportive. I couldn't have asked for a better partner in life.
Awesome. So 5 years from now, where do you see spoken poetry in Nigeria?
5 years from now, I'm hoping that we will have people with spoken word shows that are regularly sold out, and that we should have our first crop of like real spoken word superstars that have endorsements.
Hallelujah, somebody.
On billboards and things like that. And then me and you can be like, we pioneer this thing, that's where we do, anybody. But hopefully we'll have people that can really leverage on how far we have come. Because we've come a long way.
Yeah.
Looking back 7, 8 years, we've come a really long way. So just hope that some of these young guys can take it
further down with
it.
Okay, so we want you to leave a word for the young guys, just leave a word for them, just advise them on how they can build their career and push this thing further than we did.
So my advice would be to, like I said, focus on the quality of your work, build yourself as an artist. Don't really chase after fame. If you put out good work, fame and fortune will come after you eventually. And also really learn to focus on communicating with your audience, the needs of your audience. As a spoken word artist, don't be all about just expressing yourself. Don't be too insular. It's a business. So try and imagine, what does my market want? How best do I bring this product to the market? So you have to also add a business sense to your artistic head. If you don't have one innately, then find somebody who does and partner with them, because it's not enough to create this art. You must also bring it to the world or to the market. Thank you.
That's even poetry business 101 for you right there. So thank you very much, Dike, for being on our show. We really appreciate the time you spent with us and for even doing what you did on stage. Awesome.
Thank you.
So thank you very much. We'll see you next time. For updates on our events and activities, make sure you follow us on Twitter and Instagram at World of 411. Also go to our website www.worldof411ng.com. Make sure you like this video and subscribe to our channels.